Imagine you've just received a signal from outer space. What's the first thing to do?
Phone Sky News immediately so they can get a camera crew round
No,
where it was
that's
received.
not the first thing to do.
Don't tell anyone, keep it to yourself.
There is SETI. Have you heard of SETI?
Search for extraterrestrial intelligence.
Very good. Points for Bill.
How do you think we found him?
Indeed. SETI, the...
Here's our finest example.
You never will get a message from outer space. Is that the answer?
No. It's that there is a...
Why shouldn't you phone Sky News and
Well,
tell
I'll
them to
tell
send
you.
a crew round?
No, because there's a declaration of principles concerning activities following the detection of extraterrestrial intelligence that SETI have put out. First thing I said, check it's real. Important. Okay. Important. 2, tell all the signatories to the declaration and your national authorities. Not the press.
Oh, right.
You then tell astronomers online or via the Central Bureau of something or other, and then the discoverer, that's you, has the privilege of making the first public announcement. But that's the 4th step.
Oh, OK.
By the time I'm about to make the announcement, the authorities that I've previously contacted have put me in a dark basement somewhere under MI6 building for life.
Proving that they do, yeah.
This gentleman's from America. Yeah. What exactly did you hear, sir?
There are reply protocols as well. That's to say, if you get the message, how do you reply? No one should reply before checking with everyone else first, is the first rule.
You reply saying, fine, thanks.
Yeah.
They do that.
The United Nations should finally decide if we reply. We should reply on behalf of all humanity, not one country or corporation or company.
OK.
The message should be published before transmission. Plans should be put in place to create an institution to manage the conversation, as replies might be a long time in coming, centuries or millennia.
And somebody recommends the alien contact Max Clifford. It's such a very, very long way to the nearest place that it's...
Well, that's the point.
You could spend really as long as you liked planning all this. There's no need to rush.
Yeah.
Who's made these rules anyway?
SETI, the search for extraterrestrial.
Okay. They've got plenty of time on their hands, let's be honest.
What we know from cinema is that there's a kind of beardy, techie guy sort of doing this in the place where there's the computer screen and the stuff, and he's like that, and he's usually got a takeaway coffee or a donut, and suddenly somebody goes, and he goes like that, and he starts, oh my god, he goes like this, I got it, like that, and then the film starts, and it's like,
he gets up and whichever movie his own indoor golf set.
Yeah, exactly.
He blows the dust off his telephone and calls the authorities.
Exactly, and he calls...
Well, it's beardy.
Nothing wrong with him being a beard. Take it up with Hollywood casting. You're talking to an alien in a distant galaxy by radio. How could you explain which is right and which is left?
Breaker, breaker.
That would do it, wouldn't it? Just by saying breaker, breaker, he would know.
Well, it depends what height mast he had, but yeah, he should.
It's nice to be talking...
There's got to be alien truckers.
Yeah, it's a fair point. They must have been
I'll tell him what's left and right, and if he's got a smoky on his ass.
Right.
Hypothetically, are we looking at any common reference point?
That's the point. You can't...
Can you see Mars? Yeah, well, we're on the right side. Can you see the spot on Jupiter?
Yes, you'd have to have something to reference.
That's the point. You can't... Semantically, there is no explanation for left or right without reference to a physical world that someone can identify. You can't explain it just by language. That is really the point of the question.
Well, if they visited in a ship, you could give them a temporary tattoo.
Yes, you could do that, which is why we framed the question so specifically, saying that
or talking on a radio.
tattoos were out.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm just a
galaxy.
problem solver by nature.
No, it's good.
Anyway, they might not have, because we always draw them in that shape with 2 eyes. What if they've got 4 eyes and 8 arms and they don't have 1 or 2 things?
Yeah.
Exactly. They may not be symmetrical in any way. Yep.
They might have other dimensions and all sorts.
Yeah, they might have 19 versions of left.
Yeah.
Yes.
Can you imagine that in a sat-nav? Left-ish!
Not that one. Not that one.
Why do we always draw them like that?
I have no
It's so
idea.
strange. They might have 1 eye in the middle of their head.
Yes. Certainly the ones that probe me look nothing like that.
Do you have a little thing in your head which is a mnemonic for when you forget which is left or right temporarily? Do you do that?
I walk into traffic. Sort out straight away.
Yeah. Why, do you have a problem?
I do. No, I don't, but if I have to think... Well, I remember the thumb I used to suck when I was a very small child. That's my right hand. Does no
Like
one
a
else have
therapy
this?
session, this. It's a wonderful story about a famous ocean liner captain, and he had a little silver box that he kept in his pocket, and every time before they came into port, he would open up the little silver box and he would look and put it away. And after many, many years' service, when he finally died, his second-in-command said, I just must have a look in the silver box and see what it is. And he opened up the box and it said, port, left, starboard, right.
That's brilliant.
Thank you.
Characters behind me, shifty-looking characters. What were they up to last night?
They were up all night making a picnic table.
Before you get too insulting, they're in the studio tonight. I just thought...
They were winning the Mr. Handsome contest.
That's more like it.
Were they harming horses? You know, when they people harm horses, like slash horses?
No.
When they
But it was a nighttime covert activity like slashing
goats.
horses.
They were slashing goats.
No, let's assume we wouldn't invite into the studio
Were they?
people
Yes,
who maimed animals.
Were they pretending to be gas men and
Robbing old
thereby
ladies.
stealing the property of aged people?
No.
You might.
If I told you that this was in Wiltshire, would that help?
Cathedral stealing.
Grave robbing. Grave robbing's always...
Or they drew something rude.
In the summer.
On Stonehenge. They drew something rude on Stonehenge.
Crop circle.
Oh, Alan, well done. Crop circles. Absolutely right. There they are. The equipment needed for crop circling, a plank with rope, but what was the crop circle? We commissioned them.
A
to
QI
do
symbol.
A QI crop circle, and they did it for us. And it's rather impressive.
Because
We're rather
QI is
pleased
run
with
by
it.
aliens.
Would you like to see it? Would you like to see it?
I certainly would.
Well, let's have it. We actually went to the expense of having a travelling aerial shot. What do you think of that? We did.
That's real. That's like the Led Zeppelin cover.
Oh, you fail. I'm afraid it was real. The extraordinary thing is that almost within half an hour of it being completed and the dawn rising, we were contacted by people. Someone wanted to know, they said, is it real or is it man-made? Which the answer is...
I asked that about sandwiches all the time.
But it's a rather marvellous example of a breed of phenomenon that has that's been going since when?
Is the farmer... Is the
the
farmer
80s.
here tonight?
We
as
have
well?
recompensed the farmer. It doesn't actually do much
but how
damage.
many mice were frightened in the making of that?
We can't tell how many mice were
I'll bet
frightened.
this is older than we suspect.
It's actually very recent.
Is it?
It is really, yeah.
80s?
Well, 70s it began, and it got more and more refined. There was a man
Like
called...
Pizza Express.
There were a couple called... Yeah. There's a fellow called Doug Power and Dave Chorley, and they admitted that they'd been responsible for almost all the crop circles. They used to be on the news
Yeah, I
every
know.
summer. There'd be aerial shots, and there were people who called themselves seriologists who genuinely believed that these were the work of people from outer space or from magnetic forces from ley lines or all kinds of
They'd do
nonsense.
things like they'd do a crop circle and then they'd leave a couple of scorch marks or something.
Yes.
The engine...
Well,
engine had blasted off
lights
back into
overnight.
space.
We've got... Where are our three here? Put your hand... There, look, is that John? John Lundberg.
Yeah.
There you are. There's John. Can you tell me how you did yours without giving away too many trade secrets? What's the most technological item you need?
We need something called a stalk stomper, which is a plank of wood and a loop of rope that you put under your foot to flatten the crop. And to actually mark out the design, you use surveyor's tape. So it's very, very kind of simple techniques and very simple tools.
What about your spaceship? What spaceship?
I'm saving up for one, but the fee I got for this, it's going to take a while.
So, how many do you do a year in the season?
We don't say how many we make, but we've made hundreds over the years that we've been doing it.
And do people... Are there still those who believe, or who refuse to believe that it's all hoaxers like you?
Absolutely. Well, they've been ringing your production office, haven't they?
Yeah, that's right. John Lundberg, thank you very much indeed. Thank you. Now, secrecy. In the least order upwards, what's the word for a least secret document?
For anyone's eyes
everyone.
only.
Yes, but it's unclassified. And then protect. And then restricted.
Oh.
And then up to...
Look over there.
confidential.
Confidential.
Don't know what you're on about. Yeah.
And then...
I'm going to have to kill you.
Secret. And then...
Top secret.
Top secret, yes. It used to be in Britain, not top secret, but...
Most secret.
Most secret. Most... we're going to use this Americanism now, top secret.
Most secret's so British.
It is, it's most secret.
Totes secret.
There are, of course, there are some UFO conspiracy theorists
Banging
who will
secret.
tell you that there are 38
38 levels of secrecy above top secret, right?
Why are you talking like this?
Because these are UFO conspiracy theories.
Oh,
That's how they talk.
That's how they talk.
That's how they talk, is it?
They do talk like that.
They all talk
Oh,
like
yes.
that.
Oh, you can laugh.
I
know. You'll be laughing on the other side of your face when you're being probed. Yes. The top level is cosmic. Cosmic secret. And even the President of the US does not have cosmic clearance.
Really?
Apparently.
Who does?
Look it up on the internet.
It's all there.
It's true. Totally true.
That's my favourite thing about conspiracy theorists, is this is something that the president doesn't know, but I've figured it out. I'll pop it away.
I'm on the internet.
On
no
the
one's
internet.
got that.
Fantastic, isn't it? Oh, God. But now, what is Canucus eyes only?
Big one?
Canucus eyes only.
Is there a creature called a canucus?
Canucus.
And it's the only thing that's allowed to look at it. But it can't speak and therefore will never tell anyone.
Commander-in-Chief, United States?
No,
Not
Canada,
bad, though. Not
UK.
bad.
Very good. Canada, UK and United States. Canucus.
Canucus.
Canucus as well. And there's Oscanzucus, which is known as the Five Eyes, which is Australia, New Zealand, Canada, US, UK.
They're all one eye.
There's also basically don't tell the French.
There is a National UFO Reporting Centre, which is the UFOs that we normally think of, the unidentified flying objects. It was started by a man called Robert Gribble. He's a fireman from Seattle, and he collects UFO sightings. And since 1905, there have been 105,000 reports of alien sightings. A tenth of those have been here in the UK.
But the photos are never on a camera that's more than 1 megapixel.
Yeah,
So it's conveniently grainy.
A little bit fuzzy. Anybody know the best place in the UK to see a UFO? Yes, Reading.
Reading!
No.
I think there's some near us.
Do you?
Because my dog barks at all of their dogs, but no people apart from one family near us. And whenever they walk past, we look at my husband and I go, lizard people. And I know that they're walking past going, he knows.
Norfolk.
No, it's not. It's Scotland. It's Bonnybridge in Scotland.
Oh, yeah.
It's the place where you're most likely.
Is that one of them? Is that guy an alien?
This is a man called Billy Buchanan. He's a councillor in Bonnybridge. I'm not sure why he photobombed our shot of the of the site. They have 300 sightings a year, roughly, in Bonnybridge.
Is it all by one man?
Actually, another one.
He has 65 days off a year.
It's also known as the Falkirk Triangle. The fact is that Bonnybridge is under 3 flight paths, including those for Edinburgh and Glasgow Airport. It's your point there, Alice, isn't it?
I mean, just saying.
But the place in America that you would most likely find a UFO is Roswell, is the place that everybody thinks you've heard about that. So these are the street lamps in Roswell, aren't they great?
Well, you're not helping matters, are you?
No, not really.
Every night at around 7 p.m. they come on.
I wondered if I could interest you an insurance policy against alien abduction.
How much is it?
Well, for about £120 a year, I can protect you against alien impregnation.
What if I was on the pill? On the 41,
well,
you know?
Men are also able to purchase impregnation insurance of this kind for protection against the unknown capabilities of alien technology. So your pill, not really going to be anywhere. So far, more than 30,000 of these policies have been sold. No. I love these insurance policies. In 2000, there were 3 sisters from Inverness who insured themselves against the possibility of miraculously conceiving and raising the second Christ.
I hate it when that happens.
I hate when that happens.